is as well at that 12.5 o'clock, that 12 to 11 o'clock. Now we're going to see the first person view of Free. I'm not quite sure whether he spotted what he thinks he spotted anyway. I'm not quite sure if he spotted that one hatchery because I really don't think he has, from what I see on his first person view. And he still has this course is fucking okay. The hatchery finally comes down. Their drone's gonna go onto that position. We're gonna see. I think he just exactly might be putting down sunken colonies. He's getting a lot of drones into that position. We're gonna see whether he's actually gonna put. We're gonna see whether we're actually gonna see a zerg slow push with sunken colonies alongside some hydras. Free in his favor has a lot of high Templar, so it's definitely going to help him out. And finally has those dragoons. I'm not quite sure whether they have range or not. An additional forge as well as robotic support now being put down by Free, so it's going to transition into reavers too. And now we're going to see lurkers being barreling down, just taking a lot of these defending buildings as it can. It's going to be able to take down the one gateway in the opposite side, near the middle, near Free's base. There's going to be a lot of sunken colonies being put down. So he's going to prevent Free from pushing out without being in a very, very bad position. So what Hades is apparently just trying to do is just trying to do a contain with sunken colonies while he's building up forces all around. He also has the lurkers there helping with that contain. So if Free's forces push past those lurkers, he's still going to be in a pretty bad position because he's going to see that one hatchery with a crap load of sunkens around it. Not even sure if he spotted it yet. I think he finally has though. He's sitting right inside of him. So Hades is in fact just pushing out. I'm not quite sure how many. Yeah, there you go. See, with those cracks there, he's not going to be able to put down any more sunken colonies, but it's going to be a pretty decent defendable position for him to run back to just outside of Free's base. So he's going to be able to push in. If he sees that his push not working, he's just going to be able to push back. He's going to retreat, fall back quickly, and Free's not going to be able to push in aggressively because of that gigantic sunken line. I'm not even sure how many sunken is getting. And again, Free now going to go for overlords. There is a spore colony there, but he's going to sacrifice all of his corsairs, taking out 4 or 5 overlords, not getting too many of his corsairs. I think he lost maybe 1 or 2, but oh no, good job there. Oh man, look at all those sunken colonies alongside a couple of spore colonies on the opposite side. Free's putting down a lot of gateways. So he's transitioning into what looks like say Reaver, because he knows that he has to be flying around to do some damage. He can't go the ground force way. There's just no way. No matter what you think, no matter how large a force you'll get, running into that sunken line is just going to be suicide, because Hades has invested a lot, and I mean a lot of money in those sunken and spore colonies. And knowing that, having invested all the money, he knows very well. Oh, look at all those shuttles. With a lot of forces inside. So yeah, he knows that with all that money that he's invested in that front holder, he knows that he can feel safe, that Free is not going to push up from the ground, and Scourge landing on some Corsairs, not catching the shuttles, though Free doing a pretty good job. So Free knows that what he has to expect now are air attacks. Corsairs going to go and kill a lot of horrors. Oh, Templar going to drop, get some storms off, and now Dark Templar as well as some Zealots are going to be able to run out. All the Overlords taken down, and now this one base is going to be in jeopardy. Hades has to be very fast in reinforcing. He is just exactly doing that. There are a couple High Templar. If they manage to fire off good storms, Free's going to be still in decent position. One storm goes off on a lot of those Hydras. Where's the second storm going to need? Hatchery goes down. Even more storms. The High Templar and the Zealots are going to lose their lives, but they did manage to take all this down. There's still that one Dark Templar. No Overlords in position. That one Dark Templar might just be the deciding force, and it is. Some more Zerglings running in. They're just not going to be able to do the job with the one Dark Templar and no Overlord. So Hades now in a bad position. Free's done a perfect drop there, taking down whatever he needs to take down. Dark Templar are still in position. They're going to keep attacking those Hydras until an Overlord gets into that position. So Hades again only mining off three bases, and he's going to need more. He's going to need more soon, because you don't, despite the fact that Free cannot move out on the ground, you don't want to be 3 base against 3 base, because Free's not going to just, he knows he can't expand, at least not with immense personal risk to his new bases. He's just going to run around, drop the crap out of everything that Hades has. He finally has speed for those shuttles. Now he's just going to maneuver about, he's just going to ferry some troops. Free might even kill his own temple. He's not gonna. He's of course that is a risk. And look at all those lurkers alongside the sunken colony line. Wow. As the shuttles try to ferry some forces, they get caught though. One shuttle goes down. Soon they had some forces inside Scourge and Overlords get taken out by those Corsairs. So this is what Free's been doing a very good job with. He's been investing a lot in all those Corsairs. Even more Scourge fly out, and he gets those taken down. Some damage to the Corsairs that do those high risks. Just looking at that gigantic line of Sunkens and the Lurkers, just wow. Another shuttle in jeopardy, so he has to be very careful there. Free, yeah, I was saying that the temple, his own temple into his mineral only, he might, I don't know, taking that out would be a huge risk. It would definitely allow him more maneuverability, but it would be a huge risk to let your opponent to just run into your back door. And that might be the problem with Medusa. Has always been that if you focus the, especially as a Zerg, if you focus the attention of a Protoss in one location, you're going to be able to take that from another location. Now Free's actually going to expand at this former location that Hades had. That's the plan he has, so he'll be able to take a base over him. I'm not quite sure if he really needs to do that. I think at this point the only thing he needs to do is prevent Hades from getting his own bases. I think he might be overextending himself just a little bit to try to take this base. Hades desperately trying to get this base back, moving in with Lurkers alongside Hydras, but I think there are far too many High Templar and Zealots and Dragoons in the location. High Templar gets sniped though, so those Hydras are going to move out in a pretty decent position. Corsairs are going to meanwhile engage a bunch of Overlords all over the place. Free splitting those up everywhere, trying to take out his base. Also now cannons finally coming up. So Free should be able to hold this. And now Scourge again moving on this shuttle. These shuttles have to move. Oh, they managed to move into the safely of the cannon lines. Thank God. Lots of cannons there at the mineral only. And now, meanwhile, Hades is doing a pretty good job of getting in. There are, however, 4 cannons alongside Dragoons in that position. There are Lurkers there to help take down the pylon. If the pylon goes down, no, but the Lurker goes down before he managed to take out the pylon. So overall, Free stays and holds that position. Free seems to be in a pretty dominant position so far, taking down even more Overlords. Hydra not reacting in time. Wow, losing 3 to 4 additional. One of those Corsairs has 10 kills, and that's Overlords and Scourge. Wow, that's insane. So Hades, meanwhile, has expanded at the 9 o'clock position because he knows that's not going to be threatened at all. He can pretty much feel free to expand at the 6 o'clock as well. That's, I think, what he should do. He's trying to keep on the pressure, trying to make sure that Free does not hold this base, and that's going to be very hard for him because despite the fact that Free's locked in, he's pretty in a good position. He has a lot of shuttles out there so he can ferry forces. He has High Templar, he has cannons, Dragoons. Pylon goes down though, second pylon almost up to help those cannons go back online. We're going to see whether Hades manages to take this chance. One storm goes off and all of the Hydras, but Free doing the mistake of running his Zealots right into that. Another storm going off, hitting a lot of the Zerglings. The cannons go down, 2 cannons still alive, 1 cannon left only just as the pylon comes up. And the High Templar morph into an Archon. And now we're going to see this. Hades is going to expand all over the place. He's getting the 6 o'clock main, so he's going to take that base. There's also a base at the 5-ish o'clock that he's held and thinking of taking down a lot of shuttles on the opposite side for Free. So Free does manage to take out his 4th base. This is probably why he took it, because he's expecting. He can't move out with Grand Force. He can't really go around harassing everywhere because he has to be really close-knit and make sure that he's defending all of his forces. So that's why he's taking this base, because he knows Hades is going to be able to take a lot of bases alongside. He has a lot of Dragoons with range that will be ferrying around, and now Hades is going to run up again into this expansion. There's going to be an Archon, Dragoons, and Zealots engaging him, though. So you have to be very careful. The Archon still staying alive. Storm now finally going off, hitting the Archon alongside those Hydras. Another storm going off, trying to hit the Lurkers. Whoa, look at all those storms. Nice storms overall, not hitting the Lurkers, but hitting a large group of Hydras overall, forcing Hades to move back and forth. Another storm going off, killing the last Hydralisk. One Hydralisk runs right into the storm as it tries to dodge fire. But now there are Lurkers set up there, but there are observers in place for Free to be able to take those out. So yeah, they're not going to be any Reavers, but he needed that robotic support to... I thought he was going for Reavers, but that was silly. He needed that to get the speed going for that shuttle. Of course. I think that's the case, yeah. He still has those 2 robotics facilities. More Dark Templar going out, so this is really what Free should keep going. I'm going to see what actually goes for an offensive drop this time, but if he keeps his Corsair number up, as he's been doing overall pretty well, killing so many Overlords, those Dark Templar become a very, very valuable asset. So now, okay, Free's actually going to put some forces on at that 1 o'clock. And he's actually thinking of pushing down, but there are a lot of forces in that location overall. This is just an overall very, very interesting game. How Hades has planted that 1 hatchery outside to keep Free inside. We're going to see whether having used all those resources so early on really comes back to bite him now. He's still in a pretty decent position, getting some more expansions that are going to stay unharassed for quite a long time. So overall, if he manages to get say 5-6 bases up and get hive tech and really start getting going with that. The early hatchery in the middle to prevent free from moving out is going to become a really important factor and really cost effective now. Oh, of course they're getting caught by Scourge as well as Spore Colony. Free still just, meanwhile, Ferrying Force is still slight of a stalemate right here. Hades is not pushing up. He's going to go around, put down expansions, just getting some mining going, just getting some more forces. I'm not quite sure if he has hive tech or not. He has 1-2 upgrades for his ground forces. While Free, I'm not quite sure what he is upgrades wise. I think his main and natural are pretty bad mineral wise. His mineral only still going so far, but this 1 o'clock base is very necessary for him at this point, especially when you look at the huge amount of forces that he's done. He's putting a lot of forces actually into his shuttles, particularly high-tech forces such as High Templar and such, trying to get a perfect positioning on it.